This present month is almost coming to an end. It's almost ending. We have how many days left? We have like just 2 days left. And that's why I chose tonight to teach us how to usher in a new month, because every month comes with its own blessings. Every month. It all depends on how you handle the month. A lot of us start the new month with negativity. Once the month starts, we start complaining. We start thinking about the future. We start thinking about things we cannot change on our own. And that is why it always attracts nothing but negativity to our side. So we have to make things right. Please keep liking, okay? Like and share so that we have enough people tonight. The new month is around the corner. Let's make it right. Let's get that blessing for the new month. Okay, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining. Please keep liking, keep sharing, because we've got no time to waste tonight. There is no too much talk. I don't need to talk too much on what I have to teach us today. It's all what you need to know, but just in another form. Please keep liking, keep sharing, so that we'll have enough people tonight. Whenever we are about to enter into a new month, as this old month is coming to an end, I always advise people to end it with prayer, no matter what you have passed through. No matter the negativities you have come across the month, always end the month with prayer. And then you leave yourself open spiritually. Leave that door open so that the positive will come in. Don't shut the door because of the negativities that you have passed through the last month. Don't shut that door open. If there is any door that you need to close, if there's any door you need to close, is the doors of negativity. Shut them, but keep the door of positivity open. Yes, this present month might not be good for you. It might not be good for you at all. You may not have achieved what you wanted to achieve. You may not have even gotten anything at all. But the most important thing is that you are still alive. Once you are alive, there is still hope. And so I want us to make it right as the next month is around the corner. So whatever I'm going to teach us, this is something you will have to start on the night before the new month. Like this present month is ending on the 31st. So what you are supposed to do will have to start 31st night. And then you equally conclude it by the 1st of the next month. So this is what you are going to do on the last day of this month at night. All I want you to do is to just get your money. Get your money, any denomination. Since we are using Naira in Nigeria, you choose the denomination you want. I'm not going to choose anyone for you. If you want to get 50 Naira notes, you have to get it 3. If you want to get 100 Naira notes, you get it 3. If it's 500, 3. If it's 1,000, 3. Whatever denomination you are getting, you have to get it 3. And then you are going to pray with these 3 currencies. You are going to pray with them. Please don't get 50 and then get 100 and then get 500. No. If it's 100, it has to be 3, 50, 3, 500, 3, 1,000, 3, just like that. Whatever denomination you choose, you have to get it 3. And then you will pray with them. This time around, I will want you to, if you have an altar, fine, that's the best. But if you don't have an altar, you can get a table or a stool and place that money on that table or on that stool, and make sure you light your candle. If you are not the type that prays with candle, this time around you have to get a candle. But what I do, because when you are praying with candle, if you have a candle stand, it will help you a lot. That candle stand will help you so that the candle will stick properly and not fall off. But if you can stick it on the bare floor, fine. So long as it's not close to anything like paper or cloth, But I prefer when I get a candle like this, since it's just a short prayer, it's not something you will do all night. It is just something you can just do for that night. Since it's going to be a short prayer, I prefer dividing the candle into 3. And then I'll pick one. Let me show you what I mean. This is 1. That's when I divide it into 3, I get something like this. And then this is what I will use for tonight. So you will have to get candle. If you prefer using a 1 full candle, no problem. It doesn't matter. But for short prayers, I prefer using short candles. So I'll have to divide it. So when you place the currencies on the table or on the chair, you light a candle. Please, you are not going to keep the candle at the same place where you keep the currencies. If you have a candle stand, fine. You put that candle inside the candle stand, keep it on the floor. And then you place those money on the table or on the stool. And then you say your prayers. Because that day is going to be the last day of the month. You say your prayers, at least to thank God that you are alive to witness the end of that month. You thank Him for everything that you have passed through, both negative and positive, the ones you can remember. You tell God everything about your life for that past month. And tell Him how you want your life for the incoming month to be. How you want things to go for you. As each month comes with its own blessing. You desire that blessing. You need that blessing. You want that blessing. These are the things you will have to pray. Using your candle and using the money. And then while praying, make sure that whatever blessing you are expecting that you will get from the next month, whenever you pick up any currency, you say whatever blessing you want upon that currency. You are going to repeat this process upon the 3 currencies. Whatever blessing you are expecting from the new month, you are going to say those blessings on each and every one of those currencies. And then the next thing you will do is you will get a cinnamon powder. Please. It's either you get a cinnamon powder or you get an incense. I've told us before about making use of incense. Incense helps us whenever we pray. It chases away evil spirits and it ushers in the power of God, the presence of God. So it's either you use cinnamon powder or you get your incense. And why do we talk about this cinnamon powder? Whenever we use cinnamon powder to perform any spiritual exercise, it's nothing but to draw positivity towards your side, to draw that good luck, to create that atmosphere of good luck open for you. That is the work of cinnamon powder spiritually, apart from using it to cook and to bake. Now, if you can't get cinnamon powder, try and get incense. Because whenever we are performing spiritual exercises, both the positive spirits and the negative spirits are always present. They are always present. So when you light your incense, it chases away the negative spirits and ushers in the positive spirits. That is the power of God. It ushers them in. So try and get cinnamon powder or the incense. Now when you get the cinnamon powder, what you are going to do with it is, upon those currencies on the table or on the stool, you are going to sprinkle a little, just a very tiny quantity of cinnamon powder upon those currencies. As you are praying, sprinkle that cinnamon powder upon the currencies and leave them there. But if you are to make use of incense, let me show you what I mean. I have as many incense as possible that I can have, but I'm going to use this one because it's much easier. It's much easier for me. So for all the currencies that are on the altar table or on the ordinary table or on the stool, this is what you are supposed to do. You have to light that incense from that candle that you just, because your candle must be on. and then you will light the incense. The fire will go off, and then you will see the smoke. You see the smoke rising. Yes. As the smoke is rising, you are going to take this incense round to where you have those money on the table, so that the smoke will touch the money on the table. Take this incense round. If you have the other incense that I've showed us before, using the incense container, you still have to take it round so that the smoke will touch the money while you pray. And while you are praying, mention your past experience with the previous month. The things you want God to change for you, the things you want to attract from the new month, you mention them. And allow that incense, the smoke from the incense, you can still see the smoke. Allow the smoke from the incense to touch the money, not the fire. Please, don't burn the money. You don't burn money, please. But make sure that the incense, the smoke, touches the fire. And then you say your prayers. After that prayer, you are going to leave everything where they are. The money, do not remove them. Just leave them there. Then by morning, on that first day of the month, you are going to repeat this same process. You are going to repeat it again, either using the incense. But this time around, by morning, you are no longer going to sprinkle any cinnamon powder on that morning. The one you sprinkled the previous night is enough. You don't need to sprinkle another one. All you need to do is to say your prayers on those mornings. And then you use incense again. Depending on the type of incense you have, you use incense again. Please, there are different types of incense. Just be careful with the ones you are buying, because there are incense that you will light. It ushers in demons. Please, I just want you to know that. We have different types of incense. When you go to, that is why I prefer buying incense from churches. I prefer buying it from churches because the ones they sell in the church is strictly the ones that you will use for positivity. There are different types of incense. There are ones that ushers in demons. Be careful when you go to buy them. So by morning, like I said, you will still use your incense again, but you will no longer use the cinnamon powder. And after that prayer, those money, the three currencies, you will make sure that you find people whom you are far much better off. That is, find maybe beggars, preferably beggars, disabled people, these people that are begging on the streets. Make sure you find them and give them that money. Don't give the three of them to one person. Share it amongst three people. Let one person collect one money. And I'm telling you that on the day that you will share this, if you have ever experienced this, you will find it difficult getting those beggars on that very day, no matter the day. You may be seeing them along the road right now. There might even be hovering around you, asking you for money every day. But on the day that you are going to share this money that you have prayed with, you will not see, you will find it difficult seeing one person. That is the challenge that people normally get. That is the challenge. And this money is not supposed to remain with you for another 24 hours. It is the money you must give out. And you must give this money out to either the disabled or the beggars, to someone who cannot afford that money at that moment. Someone who cannot afford that currency at that moment. That is the person that you will give that money to. And when you give out that money, make sure that you ask the person to pray for you. Let them pray for you. Let them bless you. That their prayer is what God is looking out for, not actually what you did. That their prayer is what God is looking out for. Because as they pray for you, the moment they open their mouths to pray, God will hear them. And once they accept that money wholeheartedly, willingly, every problem that might have come your way will be removed. Do not force them to take. If you give anybody and the person refuses, please leave that person. Find another person, because if you force them to take it from you and they take it, you have spoiled everything. You have ruined your prayers. It is something that they will need to collect wholeheartedly. Now in this one, I will want to advise us. I prefer giving the money out to adults, to men and women, instead of children. The reason is because of the situation of things in our world today. You trying to give money to a child, people will target ritual, that you might have done ritual with the money and you want to collect the child's destiny, or you want to use the child for ritual, you want to, end the child's life, things like that. So I prefer giving out the money to adults. And when I give them that money, I will tell them my reason for giving them that money. We are entering into a new month. As the Lord has blessed me, so I want to bless you equally. And I want you to pray for me. And I will hand that money over to them. And then they will pray for me. So this is what I do every month. And when you start doing this, you will see how your life will transform. It works like magic, but it's not magic. This is how God has designed life and nature to work for us. You need to sacrifice a little for you to gain a lot. Sacrifice a little for you to gain a lot. It doesn't cost anything. The only thing it will cost you is that maybe that money is something you would have preferred to use for your personal need, but then you have to cough it out for somebody else. That sacrifice is what will attract the positive things for you from the incoming month. Now, after this process, after giving out the money to the beggars, to the less privileged or whatever, the next thing you are supposed to do is to, like in our place, we call it salaka. That is a little get together, something like that. I don't know how to put it, but we call it salaka. I don't know what others call it. This salaka that I'm talking about is you will have to prepare something edible, prepare food, which you are not going to eat alone. You are going to eat it with your family members. You are going to eat it with people you don't really need to know them. And there are times when I will prepare this food, and the people that will come to my house that day will be these shoemakers that normally passes. I don't know who calls them, but I believe it's just God that invites them. They will just knock on the gates to greet me, and they will ask me if I cook anything, and I will say yes. And I will go in and dish out the food and give to them, give them drinks. They will eat, drink, thank me and bless me and leave. And it seems as if my life is the best. It's not the best, but it's just that I don't want anything negativity around me at all. So I try as much as possible to leave the door of positivity open. But in doing all these things, we have to be careful. I'm not saying that you should go outside and start calling everybody you see on the road. But if you if you have people around you, your neighbors, assuming you are living in a big man's area where your neighbor cannot come into your house to join you in eating because nobody trusts each other, at least that's your neighbor's gate man, that's your neighbor's gardener, that's your neighbor's washerman, whatever. You approach them. And please be sincere, be honest. Don't try to sugarcoat anything. Don't try to hide anything. A lot of people will tell them, today is my birthday. Meanwhile, it's not your birthday. Please, don't start that month with negativity. Tell them the truth. Tell them what you are doing. That you are ushering in the new month because you want God to bless you for the month. And so you have decided to offer them these things which you and your family members have taken. If it's food, you give it to them. If it's drink, you give it to them. If it's snacks, then what you can afford, whatever it is that you can afford. If they accept it wholeheartedly, beautiful. If they say no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that your prayer didn't go. Your prayer will still go. If nobody wants to eat, but you have your family members with you, please eat it with your family members. If you are staying alone, like for students who are staying alone, and you prefer cooking, make sure you call your friends. Call them and tell them what you are doing. I'm sure some of them will want to join you. Let them join you and eat, and make sure that they pray for you. And that is all you need. These are the things I do. It doesn't take anything away from me. And it doesn't cost much. It depends on how you want to do it. But when you make this a part of you, when you do it this month, you are going to see how that month will be for you. You are going to see the positive side of nature. It doesn't mean that when you do it that nothing bad will ever come your way. It's not true. It's not possible. As long as you're a human being, we'll always encounter negativities in our life at one point in time. But this time around, we are talking about how much negativity and how much positivity did you encounter in every month. We want to conquer that negative side. When you are giving testimonies, let your positive testimonies be greater. Talk more about what God has done for you, more than the problems that you have passed through in life. Okay? This is what we need to do to usher in the new month. And it works like magic. The only thing I equally do, which is strictly for me, but should there be anyone that wishes to do it, no problem, is that I must make sure that I sacrifice a living thing to God every month. And so I prefer using chicken. I will make sure I sacrifice chicken. I will make sure I use that chicken to pray and call God to come and dwell in my home, in me, in the lives of my children, in the life of my husband. And then when I prepare that chicken, I will make sure that everybody, including my security man and whoever that visits me on that very day, even the workers that are in my home, they will all eat of that chicken. It doesn't matter the quantity. If I notice that there are much people, then I will have to prepare more than enough. And if you want to practice this one of using a live animal to thank God, make sure you buy that animal live on that very day that you are going to practice this. Buy it live. Don't allow them to kill it at the market. Don't allow them to process it for you at the market. Bring it back home. That is why I prefer using chicken. You bring it back home. Pray with it while that thing is still alive. And then prepare it by yourself. Do not buy it a day before that day or 2 days before that day. It is something that you must buy on that very day. Let me tell you the experience I had, which a lot of people called me on the phone when they were doing this and told me that this is what they encounter. If you buy it a day or 2 days before that day, before the morning that you will perform that day, that animal will die. If you like, remain awake throughout the night, watching over that animal. The moment you doze off, just a minute, that animal will surely die. By morning, you will notice that the animal is no longer alive. It is not something you will have to buy ahead of time. No. It is something you must buy on that very day. In the morning, before you perform it, you will have to go to the market. Buy it on that very day. And then come back and perform it. If you buy it a day or two, even if you like, buy it by 7 in the night, so that you will use it the following day. By that morning, that animal will die. This is something I know I have experienced. A lot of people experienced it equally. Some of them called me to tell me that the animal they bought died before that day. So please, to prevent that waste, a waste of money, just hold on. That morning, you buy it. Assuming that the morning you are supposed to perform this falls on a Sunday, which you know that markets don't come out on Sundays, you can skip that day. You can skip that Sunday. So that by Monday, you go to the market, buy it and perform it. Okay? This is all you need to do to usher in the new month. There is nothing so special. There is no abracadabra. There is no magic. It is just this thing. It's all about sacrifice. You sacrificing what you have for others to enjoy so that you will gain more. So that you will gain more. And when we do this, sometimes people think that you are into voodoo. You are into charm. You are using charm to get whatever you like. It's not that way. It's not true. There is nothing like using charm in this thing. This time around, we are talking about your personal sacrifice. You sacrificing what you have to get what you don't have, and you are going to gain more. I don't know if I have told us about the girl, a girl who happens to be my friend. She has a boutique, and I normally shop in her boutique. She came across one of my videos where I was teaching about this on my YouTube channel, but to her, she thought it was something of charm or whatever. She's a member of the Catholic Charismatic Renewal. So she said that after watching the video, she just waved it aside. To her, it's not good. It's not something that we Catholics do practice. She waved it aside until a military man came into her shop one morning to buy the things that the man needed. And after buying those things, the man left and came back again and told her that she has so many blessings surrounding her, but that those blessings are kind of hidden, and told her what to do. And what was one of those things the man told her? Exactly this thing that I'm just teaching you people now. But in her case, she said that the man told her to be sacrificing an animal unto God every month, and that she's going to see how her business will boom. So she said that the first time she decided to buy a chicken, and she did it according to how the man told her. On the first day of the month, she killed the chicken, she prayed, she cooked, called people, they came, they ate with her. And that month, she recorded the sum of 500,000 naira as her profit. In a week, I'm not saying in a month. She recorded the sum of 500,000 naira as her profit in a week. She repeated the same process, and the money doubled. And then she decided to come to my house. She told me that she watched my video, but she was skeptical about practicing it because as Catholics that we are, nobody ever says anything like this in Catholic Church. We are not being taught about that. But she told me about the military man and what the military man told her and the things she has witnessed before. And she told me that this time around, that she's no longer going to be sacrificing a chicken, but that she's going to be sacrificing a goat. And I asked her, you are living alone, you are still a single girl and a young girl. Sacrificing a goat, won't it be too much since you don't have people living around you? She told me that she has neighbors, that she will call her neighbors, and that her neighbors will join her in eating the goat. And the reason why I asked her this question is because those animals, when you kill them, you are not supposed to leave anyone until the next day. This is something that must finish that very day. That is why I prefer chicken. Something I know that even if it's only me and my family, we can finish it that very day. You don't have to remain even the back of the meat for the next day. You must finish that animal that day. And on the third month, like she told me, she killed a goat. She said that she called so many people, a lot of people, to join her in eating. And that month, what she gained that month wasn't just financial gain. So many things changed. She tried so many things, so many miracles, so many blessings. She came to my house dancing all around, telling me about the blessings that she received for that month ever since she killed the goat, this and that, and equally gave me the good news about her relocating outside the country. I was so happy for her. So please, if you have never ever heard of this, if you have never done it, I want you to start it. This is not sacrificing anything to any idol. This is sacrificing unto that God Almighty, the all-merciful being, the God who understands you. When you don't have, He knows that you don't have. When you have, He knows that you have. However you want to do it, but as long as you involve Him in what you are doing, as long as you invite Him to help you out for that month, you will see how that month will turn out to be for you. So this is all you need to do. Doesn't take much, doesn't cost much, will not take anything away from you. Okay? So in case you have any question, please, I want you to ask based on this teaching. If you have any question based on this teaching, if you are confused along the line, if there is anything you want me to clarify or the things I've said so far, please just go ahead and say so. Remember, you are going to start on the last day of this month. That is when you will get your items ready and you pray with them and you leave them there. By the next day, which is the first of the new month, that is when you will perform every other thing that I've just said. But like I said also, should in case that first month falls on a Sunday, which you know you can't go out to buy the things you need, let that day pass by, allow it to skip. The next day, try and get it. Let me tell us, 2 months ago, when I went to work, that was on the 1st of May. No, sorry, on the 1st of May was Workers' Day. We didn't go to work on that day. And so when we resumed work, I was telling myself when I was going to work that I'm going to buy a chicken so that I'll perform the new month sacrifice, because I didn't perform it on that first day because I wasn't feeling okay. And so when I was coming back, I was about passing the market when I just heard a voice that asked me, "What about your monthly sacrifice?" I stopped immediately because I was in front of the market when I heard that voice. I stopped immediately and entered the market and bought the chicken. And that month of May was the month that I received the most wonderful news. One of my prayer requests, which I know that I have prayed for, that was the month that I received that blessing. I want to tell you how these things work. You don't need anybody to pray for you. You don't need anybody to perform any magic for you. You don't need to visit any spiritualist or any reverend father or pastor or whatever. This is something you are to do by yourself and in your house. You don't need to go out and do it. In your house, so that when that blessing comes, it comes into your home. And not just for you alone, but for your family members as well. Anybody can do it in your home. Be it the father, the mother, be it the children, the adults. I'm not talking about little children, adults. Anybody at all can do it for the family. Because once that blessing comes, it's not coming for you alone. It's coming for every member of the family. And if you are single, maybe you have something in mind, you have your business in mind, you have whatever it is that you have in mind, and that's the reason why you are doing this, you must surely get the answer. So please, if you have any question, Prophet Dorcas, thank you, you are welcome, thank you so much. If you have any question, please ask. Like I said, I'm not going to talk too much tonight. This teaching doesn't require too much talking, it's just very simple. Just very simple, but a lot of people are not aware of it, okay? So please, if you have any question, ask me before I close for tonight. So I'm still waiting for your questions. So if you have any other question based on spirituality, and I will equally have to chip this in. A lot of people have bombarded me with this question, which I always try to explain. Please, I am not a seer. I am not a seer. I can't see your past. I can't see your present. I can't see your future. Except I ask God about you through prayers, and then He reveals. That is when I will know everything about you. So please don't ask me how your life will be in the next 10 years. I don't know. I'm not God. Even if you ask God this question, He won't answer you that question. He can only tell you what will happen at the moment, but not how your life will be in future. Okay. Lisa, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Okay, you want the summary of today's teaching, all right? I will have to just brief it. It's all about what you can do to usher in the new month. Okay, and what you need to do is to get your money, any denomination of your choice. If you are a Nigerian, either you get 200 naira or 100 naira or 500 naira, but whichever denomination that you are getting, you will get it 3. If it's 100 naira, it has to be 300 naira. If it's 200 naira, it has to be 3, making it 600. If it's 500, it has to be 3, making it 1,005. And then you are going to pray with this money. And while you are praying, I would like you to get either your incense or your cinnamon powder, whichever one you have. Then you place the money on your altar table or on the table where you are praying, or on the stool or on the floor, whichever one, and you sprinkle the cinnamon powder on top of the money. But whereby you don't have any cinnamon powder, all you need to do is leave the money there, and then you light your incense. Try and get incense. The normal incense, you know, if you are a Catholic, there's this incense we use in Catholic Church, which we buy from the church. But if you don't have it, you go to any spiritual shop and ask for this incense. And then you light that incense like I showed us before, and make sure that the smoke coming out from that incense will touch the money. Please, not the fire. Don't allow the money to burn, please. This fire will still go off. I hope you are watching me. Can you see that smoke? As the smoke is rising, make sure that you take the smoke closer to where the money is, and let the smoke touch the whole money. And then you leave your money there, leave everything there. And by next day, what you're going to do is you will have to pray. You will have to pray with those money. Tell God how your life was during the last month, and tell him how you want your life to be in this present month. And after that prayer, you get your incense again. You can see the smoke still rising up. Get your incense again and light it, and make sure you use the smoke to go around the money. After your prayers, and then you take the money out, you must go out and give it to the beggars, to the disabled, to those who cannot afford that money, because there are a lot of, we neglect humans a lot. We neglect people a lot. We believe that everybody we see on the road can afford 50 naira. There are so many people that from January to this month, they haven't even seen 5,000 naira collectively. They haven't even seen it. So many people live on the mercy of other people. A lot of people feed by what others give them. They cannot even make 50 naira as their own personal money. They cannot make it. But we believe that because we can eat in the morning, eat in the afternoon, eat at night, it is the same thing with every other person. It's not true. We have to be looking into people's lives. There are people you will see on the streets, despite their dressing, despite how they look, they and their families haven't eaten. That's why we have to be nice. Every now and then, we have to be nice to each other. We have to be nice to people. When someone summons up the courage, walks up to you and tells you that he hasn't eaten, please, if it's possible for you to afford what that person will eat, please do. It will not take anything away from you. I know giving out money, I don't really buy the idea of giving out money, but once you have prayed on that money, if the person lies, let the person take that money to the highest native doctor. It will not work, because the money no longer belongs to you. You have already given out money to the highest being, to the all-powerful being. The money now belongs to God. So whatever evil they want to conjure on top of that money in order to harm you or to block your way of progress, it will not work. But please, if there is any way you can help others, try and do so. If there is any way you can help. And when you get this money, that is why I say to those who cannot afford that money, we have a lot of them. Some of them are our neighbors. We see them on a daily basis. But because, the way we are all brought up and the way the situation of things is, we can just say hi and walk past. And you don't know what is happening to the person. Okay? So when you get that money, try and give it to those who cannot afford the money. And then on that same very day, on the first day that you will give out that money to the people, you will have to prepare something that people can eat if you have the money to prepare it. But whereby you don't have the money to prepare a food, if you can afford snacks, no matter the type of snacks it is, please, you share it with people, with your friends, with your neighbors, with anybody that comes your way. Share it with them, and when you give them, tell them the exact thing you are doing. Don't hide it. Don't tell them it's your birthday. Don't tell them that you are thanking God for one other thing. Tell them that you are thanking God for entering into a new month, and that you are ushering in the new month into your life, so that God's blessings will get to you and your home, so that whatever prayer they will have to say on you will work out fine, and you are going to see how your life for that month will be. Okay, Lisa, I hope you understood what I have just said. I hope you got everything right. So if there's any other person who has any question to ask me based on this teaching, please go ahead and ask. And like I was saying, please, I am not a seer. I can see your past, your present, your future, unless I ask God about you. Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you. You are welcome. Unless I ask God about you, that is how I get my information. The gift of God differs. God bless you too, Lisa. Thank you. The gift of God differs, okay? I am just a spiritualist. And the gifts I have as a spiritualist are the gifts of healing and the gifts of dreams. Whatsoever I see in the dream must surely come to pass. And through that dream, that is where I get all my teachings. Everything I've been teaching people so far on how to solve their problems spiritually, I get them through dreams. I don't get them from any human being at all. At all. They all come through dreams. My guardian angel will always visit from time to time to teach me on what to do. Or to teach, it's not only about what is happening to me, what is happening to a lot of people. But the problem is that when you tell people about what is happening to them and the teachings that you have, the teachings that that was shared so that you will give them the message, they don't buy it. Some people will target so many things. They will start asking you questions. Who told you? Is it in the Bible? Where did you get it? It's not biblical. Is this? Is that? And along the line, everything you say will come to pass in the lives of those people. But shame will not allow them to come back to you to tell you that those things you say have finally come to pass. They will not come back to tell you that. So please, if you have any question based on spirituality, the things that you are confused about, the things you are passing through, the dreams you had which you don't know the meaning, you can ask me those questions. I'm going to stop by 9:50 and this is 9:45. So please, bring up your questions. Type your questions. Type your questions. I'm so sorry. A lot of people requested to join me live, to come up live with me, and I declined it. Yes, I have my reasons, which I have explained here before. Whenever I accept people to join me live, what I see is not, I don't like it at all. I see people who are not serious. Someone will request to join you live, and then you accept, and it happens that the person is in a party, in a clubhouse, dancing, drinking. We are not here for that. There's time for everything. When it comes to dance, maybe on that very day I will make a video so that everybody will start dancing. But whatever I'm doing here has to do with spirituality. Everything about spirituality is something serious. It's not something you joke with, because we are talking about life and death equally. We are talking about human life and human experiences. So that's why I've decided no longer to allow people join me live, unless there is a need for me to accept your request, and then I will accept. So I'm so very sorry for those who requested to join me live. Please, this is the reason why I don't want people to be joining me live. But whatever question you have, please just type it here. I'm going to see it and I'm going to give you your answers. All right? So I'm still waiting for your questions. Once it's 9:50, I will have to close because I will say my night prayers before going to bed. So whatever questions you have, whatever thing you want to ask me based on spirituality, please go ahead and ask. The reason why I don't come up live every day is because of time. I really don't have that time to be coming up live every day. It's because today is Saturday. Yes, I didn't go out today, so I had to rest enough. I had enough time for rest. That's why I'm coming up live. But for other days, I find it difficult doing so. If you have any question, please go ahead and ask. My time is ticking. Once it's 9:50, I will close for tonight. Okay, so in the absence of any question, I would want to thank everybody that joined us so far. I want to thank you all so very much for joining us tonight. And I want to encourage you to practice this. At least start with this this coming month. Practice this. Start it with this coming month. You are going, before the month runs out, you are going to testify. You are going to testify before the month runs out, okay? So you don't have to be waiting for people to be doing everything for you, more especially once it comes, except this difficult cases that has to do with spirituality. Those cases that requires the professionals to handle it. That is when you can seek help outside. But some of us do not have spiritual issues. There are a lot of people who are created who do not have any spiritual issue, whose ways are just open right from day one. They have this positive aura right from day one of their birth. They don't have any spiritual issue, either from the father's side or the mother's side, or from anybody who is against them. There are people who are born that way. But most of the time, you see these people complaining of hardship, of things not moving on fine for them. Reason is because they do not know how to draw draw their own good luck this time around. Draw your good luck to your side. Heaven helps those who help themselves. When you have a knowledge of all these things, you will find it, you will see that you will look as if it is only you that God is blessing. That is how it is. To look as if you are the only person who is being blessed by God. So it is always necessary that you have knowledge about certain things. Because at one point in time in life, you must come across a very difficult situation. How do we use our aura? Your aura is just like a natural fragrance in your body. Just like when you apply your perfume as you are going out. That is what aura is. The natural world. You will not perceive it. But it is only people that you meet outside that will perceive that aura. So if it's positive aura, that is when you will see people loving you for no reason. That is when you will see a young girl who is not facially beautiful, but a lot of people will be attracted to her. A lot of guys will want her. A lot of good things will be happening for her. Whenever she opens her mouth to ask for something, a lot of people will want to do that for her. That is positive aura. But when you have negative aura, no matter how beautiful you are facially, no matter how handsome you are, no matter how expensive you look, when you go out, when people look at you, they'll feel disgusted for no reason. Somebody will look at your face and the next thing the person will say is, I don't like this person, for no reason. You didn't do anything to that person. You didn't quarrel with the person. You haven't even met the person, but seeing you for the first time, the person will not like you, the person will not want you. Or maybe you find yourself in a gathering where people are being called, to receive a gift or whatever. And once it gets to your own turn, they will shut everything. They will close the ceremony for that day. They will not give you. Or sometimes they will not close that ceremony, but they will skip you to give to another person. That is negative aura, which is so bad. So if you go through my videos, you are going to see I've given us a teaching about this negative aura, on how to counter it, on how to stop it, because it is something that can be stopped. It is something that can be stopped. Because all these negative auras and positive auras are the things we came into the world with. It is totally different from you being charmed by someone, you being under the influence of diabolical powers. It is totally different. These are the things we came into the world with. A lot of us came into this world with positive aura. A lot came into the world with negative aura. And so there are things you need to do, and the things you need to be practicing on a daily basis. Mainly on your body, because as you are doing it on your body, it is going into your soul, into everything in you. to stop that negative aura from existing. And it's going to change, to stop the negative aura from existing. And it's going to change it into positive aura. Okay? So when you go through my videos, you're going to see it. The video I made about the negative aura and the positive aura. So I will have to close for tonight because I've already passed my time. So I want to thank you all for joining us, each and every one of you. I pray that God will meet you at your point of needs and grant you your good heart desires. And I pray that as we are about to close to enter the next month, I pray that the doors of positivity will open up for you. I pray that heaven will bless you. I pray that the angels of God will visit you in your different homes. And I pray that whatsoever you ask of God that is not sin, may you receive it. In the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you all, everybody. Thank you and God bless. Good night and have a nice sleep.